If you're new here, my name is Angela and I'm the Inquisitive Farmwife, and I call myself that because you never know what I'm going to be doing. Today, we're going to make sweetened condensed milk. Why would you do that, you ask? Well, for those of you who don't know, I have dairy goats and dairy cows, and right now I have an excess of milk. And when I do that, I love to experiment and do new things. It's been several years since I have made sweetened condensed milk, so I thought, you know what? I will bring you all along with me while I make it and show you just how easy it is and how much money you really can save. We're going to start out with a nice thick bottomed pan. You don't have to use this type of pan. The reason I chose to use this particular pan today is because I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry and I don't want to stand at the stove for hours and hours stirring. So when you have more surface space, things will heat up quicker and things will thicken faster. And that's exactly what I want to do. So grab yourself a heavy bottom pan of your choice. And I'm going to be using, well, it's not quite a full half gallon of milk. We probably have close to maybe 7 cups of milk in here. I don't know if the camera is going to show, but this is the cream line. You want a nice full fat milk. And I'm doing that because it'll make a richer, nicer, more yummy sweetened condensed milk. This is my farm fresh cow's milk. And because they're on new pastures right now, they're giving lots of cream. They're no longer nursing babies, so we get to have all that goodness. And then for about every cup of milk, you're going to need 1/3 cup of sugar. So I have in here about 2 rounded cups of sugar. And I'm just going to stir this up before we go put it on the heat. So you might be thinking to yourselves, Angela, I don't have my own dairy animals. I don't go out and milk. I don't have access to raw milk. Can I do this with store-bought milk? Absolutely. And this is one of those recipes that you can even use the ultra pasteurized. So if that's all you can get your hands on, you absolutely can use this because you're going to bring it up to a very high temperature and it's going to more than pasteurize your milk anyway. So this would be a good application for that. When it comes to cheese making, I tell you not to use the ultra pasteurized. Today, that would be perfectly fine. You can make this as small as, I would suggest, at least 1 quart of milk, but 3 cups of milk to 1 cup of sugar would work just fine too. I have turned this on to a medium high heat. The trick here is you don't leave the stove. You are going to just do a slow, gentle stir, and this could last for, up to an hour, depending on how much milk you put in your pot, what the surface of the pot is. If you use a narrow, deep pot, or if you have a thinner pot like I'm using today. This is a covered cast iron pan, so it is going to disperse my heat very well for me. Stainless steel is my preferred method when working with milk. You just want to make sure if you walk away for a minute, you come right back to it because this will boil over. You've got to really watch it on the heat, and you do not want it to scorch or burn because that'll just really affect the flavor and you will be very unhappy with the product. So just stick with it and stay right close to it. Like right now I'm washing up dishes and then I come over and I give it a stir. And so you can piddle around and do other little things in the kitchen or nearby, but do not walk too far away at all from this stove. I have been babying this along for about 30 minutes now, and you can see that it's on the sides, it has gone down maybe third to half, and it's starting to change color. It's getting a little more yellowish brown, like you would expect to see from sweetened condensed milk. I just thought I'd come in and show you at about the halfway point what it looks like. You have to really watch because it'll boil over in no time flat. Okay, evidently I had my audio turned off, but this was getting right here close to the end. You can see that it has definitely changed in color. It has gotten much thicker. You obviously can tell that it's way further down on the pan. And if you look at me scraping the side of the pan, you can see the thick milk. And so this is when I get out my spoon to start testing it. It is actually coating the spoon. It's leaving a thin layer. So I know at this point we're very, very close. So here is a spoon that I just put in. I don't think I may have gotten the video, but not the audio. And you can see that it has, just that little bit I had on there is thick. See how it pulls up and it's making a little bit of a drip there, but it's not dripping off the spoon. We're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here so that you can see perfectly fine. If you get a little, you're going to get a skim on the top. Milk does that. All this stuff on the outside that was kind of bubbling over this thick, I want to try to whisk it in the best I can. Try to get it back in a little bit of a liquid state. You won't get it all. I love having a flat whisk for this. And if you see foam and things at the top, that is perfectly fine. That is just the milk getting rid of impurities. That is what will happen whether you're using raw milk or store-bought milk. It's just part of the process. And see how you can see the color has changed. See how far down. We are more than half, maybe even a third of where we started with this. So that's another indicator to know when you're done. I'm going to go ahead and grab a stainless steel spoon and a colander sieve, and just in case we have any of those bits and chunks, I want to try to get the purest, creamiest milk I can. So I'm going to just run this through here. And I'm hoping that we're going to get close to 4 cups, but we will see. You can see how thick it is on this spoon. I think this is going to turn out just lovely. Looky here. It's already starting to kind of thicken up on me. I'll use our spoon just to pull off those bubbles that I was telling you about. You can see that. Whoops. I'm going to let this sit for just a minute and bring you back when I can kind of get this cleaned up a bit. And then we'll talk about this just a little bit more. Okay, so let me show you. This that we have here in the jar, because there's so much of it, it still kind of drips off the spoon. But let me show you here. We'll wipe this off just to show. This is some that was sitting for just a little bit to cool in a smaller space. So this will be this. After this cools, it will be thick like this. Just like the stuff that you get at the store. So with just about an hour of my time, I was able to reduce a half a gallon of milk, a couple cups of sugar into a quart, which would probably be equal to about 3 to 4 jars of homemade sweetened condensed milk. But now that we've done it, we need to know, is it worth it? Well, let's find out. Bye-bye Eagle brand. Homemade is the way to go. Save yourself some money with just a little time and make your own sweetened condensed milk at home too. Now, to dig out some delicious recipes. What should I make next?